When it comes to buying a car, most people assume that cheap SUVs are a bad investment. They think low price means low quality, poor features, and terrible resale value. But here's the twist. Some of the most overlooked and underrated SUVs on the market are actually the ones that end up holding their value the best. That's right, today we're diving into the world of 10 cheap SUVs that nobody buys. But shockingly, they have surprisingly high resale value. These are the models you probably walk past in a dealership lot, or the ones you rarely see featured in glossy ads, but behind the scenes, they quietly outperform expectations when it comes to keeping their worth. Now, let's be clear, we're not talking about flashy luxury machines or SUVs that cost a fortune. We're talking about budget-friendly, everyday SUVs that regular families can actually afford. They may not look glamorous, and they may not have the brand prestige of a BMW or Mercedes, but they've got something far more valuable: reliability, practicality, and long-term demand. And here's the kicker: because they're not in the spotlight, these SUVs are often overlooked at the time of purchase. But years later, when it's time to sell or trade in, you'll be shocked at how much money you get back. That's what makes them hidden gems in the automotive market. So, if you're someone who wants a budget SUV that's reliable, affordable, and won't lose half its value the second you drive it off the lot, this list is for you. In this video, we'll break down the 10 cheap SUVs that nobody buys, but that secretly have excellent resale value. Some of them will surprise you, some will make total sense, and a few might just convince you to give them a second look. So let's jump right in, because the SUV that could save you thousands might just be the one you least expect. 1. Toyota RAV4, older models. The Toyota RAV4 is one of the best-selling SUVs today, but here's the twist. The older, cheaper models from the early 2000s often get overlooked. Buyers tend to chase the latest design refresh, leaving these earlier models sitting on lots. But don't underestimate them. The RAV4 has always been known for Toyota's legendary reliability, low maintenance costs, and efficient engines. Even with higher mileage, these SUVs can run for years without major issues. That makes them incredibly appealing in the secondhand market. So while fewer people buy the older RAV4s new, their resale value remains surprisingly high. If you're looking for a cheap SUV that's basically bulletproof, this is one of the smartest buys out there. 2. Honda CR-V, pre-2015. The Honda CR-V is a familiar name, but pre-2015 versions often get passed over for the newer, tech-heavy models. Many shoppers think of them as dated or basic, but here's the secret: these CR-Vs hold their value like crazy. Why? Because Honda's reputation for reliability and efficiency carries a lot of weight in the used car market. Families, commuters, and even first-time drivers love the balance of comfort and durability. The result? These CR-Vs sell fast when pre-owned, keeping their resale value strong, even if nobody's rushing to buy them new anymore. A boring choice? Maybe. A smart financial one? Definitely. 3. Subaru Forester. The Subaru Forester doesn't sell in massive numbers compared to its rivals, and it's often overshadowed by flashier SUVs. But ask any Subaru fan and they'll tell you, this SUV is a resale value king. The secret lies in its all-wheel drive system, safety ratings, and loyal fan base. Outdoor enthusiasts and drivers in colder regions swear by the Forester's dependability. That constant demand keeps used prices high. So while it may not be the trendiest SUV on the block, the Forester is like gold in the secondhand market, an overlooked buy that rewards you later. 4. Toyota Highlander, older models. Another Toyota makes the list, and it's no surprise. The Highlander, especially older models, doesn't always get the spotlight compared to competitors like the Ford Explorer or Chevy Traverse. But smart buyers know better. The Highlander's bulletproof V6 engines, spacious interiors, and Toyota's unmatched reputation mean that these SUVs age incredibly well. Even with 100,000 plus miles, they command strong resale prices. So while many car shoppers walk right past them for newer crossovers, the Highlander remains a hidden champion of resale value. 5. Lexus RX, early 2010s. Luxury SUVs usually depreciate fast, but not the Lexus RX. Early 2010s models don't get a ton of attention anymore, but they're still highly sought after in the used market. Lexus is essentially Toyota's luxury brand, so you get the same reliability with a touch of class. That combination means these SUVs hold value far better than German rivals like BMW or Mercedes. If you want a luxury badge without luxury depreciation, the RX is one of the smartest cheap SUVs you can buy today. 6. Nissan Xterra. The Nissan Xterra quietly disappeared from the market a few years ago, and because of that, it's largely forgotten by new SUV buyers. But guess what? On the used market, these rugged SUVs are still in demand. Why? Because the Xterra was built for adventure. A body-on-frame design, strong V6 engines, and off-road capability. Enthusiasts and outdoorsy types hunt them down, which keeps prices higher than you'd expect for a discontinued SUV. It's a rare case where low popularity when new actually boosted its resale value later on. 7. Toyota 4Runner. The Toyota 4Runner isn't cheap when new, but older models are surprisingly affordable and still sell for strong prices down the road. The secret? Durability. The 4Runner is one of the few SUVs that still feels like an old-school truck, built tough and capable of lasting decades. Even high-mileage models sell quickly, often at prices that surprise buyers. So while not everyone is buying them brand new, on the resale market, the 4Runner is practically a legend. 8. Acura RDX. Older models. The Acura RDX is often overshadowed by luxury rivals, and many buyers simply don't think of Acura first when shopping for an SUV. But that's what makes it a hidden gem. Older RDX models combine Honda reliability with upscale comfort, making them an easy sell when used. They're not as flashy as BMWs or Audis, but they don't tank in value like those brands either. Quietly, the RDX proves that being under the radar can actually be an advantage when it comes to resale value. 9. Jeep Wrangler. Base models. You might think nobody overlooks the Jeep Wrangler, but here's the thing. Base models often sit on lots while buyers chase the flashier trims. And yet, even the cheaper Wranglers hold their value incredibly well. The Wrangler has a cult following and timeless design. No matter the trim level, demand always outpaces supply in the used market. That means even the unpopular base versions are resale gold. Sometimes being basic pays off big in the long run. 10. Mazda CX-5. Early models. The Mazda CX-5 has grown in popularity today, but the early models didn't get nearly as much love. Many buyers went straight to Toyota or Honda alternatives instead. But here's the catch. The CX-5 still holds resale value surprisingly well. That's because Mazda built a reputation for sporty handling, reliability, and stylish design that aged gracefully. Used buyers see these older CX-5s as bargains, keeping demand high and resale prices strong. It's one of those SUVs that proves the market eventually catches up to quality. Respect. And there you have it, the 10 cheap SUVs nobody buys, but that actually have surprisingly high resale value. These underrated models prove that you don't have to spend a fortune to get a vehicle that holds its worth. While many people chase after the latest luxury SUV or the most hyped up model, smart buyers know that sometimes the real winners are the quiet achievers. These SUVs may not grab headlines, but they deliver where it counts. Dependable performance, solid reliability, and strong demand in the used car market. The truth is, buying a car isn't just about the initial cost, it's about the long-term value. And every SUV on this list proves that sometimes the best investments are the ones nobody's talking about. Imagine buying a cheap SUV, driving it for years, and still being able to sell it for a good price later on. That's not just smart, that's money in your pocket. So, what's the takeaway? Don't overlook these hidden gems just because they aren't flashy or popular. Popularity doesn't always equal value. In fact, the less attention these SUVs get, the more rewarding they can be when it comes time to sell. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these SUVs surprised you the most? Have you ever owned one of these models? And if so, did you get more money back than you expected? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We always enjoy hearing your experiences. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more smart car buying guides just like this one. At the end of the day, cars are about more than just transportation. They're about making smart choices, and sometimes the smartest choice isn't the one everyone else is making. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.